Welcome back to the Rodecast, guys. Hope you're doing well out there. I'm your host, Rod, as always. And in this video, we're going to be looking at another beautiful ice raid at a car wash in California. And there are many of them to look at, by the way. Over the last week, there have probably been like 15 to 20 different raids in California, all over California. And this specific one I picked out because of the incredible entitled reaction by the car wash owner, who was literally crying on camera, as you will see, after his illegals were arrested. And he's attacking ICE. After hiring illegals and breaking the law, he's attacking ICE for taking away his illegal servants.
Hi there, Sherry. Yeah, witnesses describe what occurred here at this car wash today as disturbing and surreal.
You're no longer a person. You're a devil.
Some customers became outraged when federal agents detained several workers at a Studio City car wash Friday morning. One worker wailed as agents detained him on the floor inside a Ventura Boulevard business.
I walk over here and I see the ICE agent threw him on the floor, twisted his arm, and the guy's like, I have my ID in the locker. I have my ID in my locker. And it was just disgraceful.
The manager became emotional as he told us what happened.
By the way, the ICE agent probably didn't even understand what he was saying because, of course, his beloved worker, his illegal, doesn't even speak English.
And I walk over here and I see the ICE agent threw him on the floor, twisted his arm, and the guy's like, I have my ID in the locker. I have my ID in my locker. And it was just disgraceful. You're a big bully is what you are. You are a bully. He's 3 times the size of this poor guy. And he's crying for his ID, for him to show you his ID. Shame on you.
And yeah, scream more. We're going to feel sorry for your ass. After hiring a bunch of illegals, he wants us to be outraged that one of his illegals was taken out of there by ICE. And what the hell does his ID have to do with anything? He's a freaking illegal. Okay, illegal aliens are able to get IDs in multiple blue states like California because we don't give a damn about citizens in this country, in this state. Okay, and many of the other blue states who devalue citizens and the contributions of our ancestors to this country and prioritize dirty, illegal alien foreigners who have invaded our country. Okay, so yeah, it's not a surprise that he has an ID. Okay, look at the indignation on this clown, who himself is a dirty immigrant, but now he's screaming about how his illegal workforce was arrested by ICE. And it wasn't even everybody in the workforce, by the way. That proves that what this guy here is going to say is wrong. He's going to try to call ICE agents Nazis, but that's not what happened here. They took specific people who they had information on. So it was not some broad raid where they just took all the Mexicans, which is what they keep trying to say. That's not what happened here. Okay, only illegals that ICE knew about and had records on were taken by them.
And I walk over here and I see the ICE agent threw him on the floor, twisted his arm, and the guy's like, I have my ID in the locker. I have my ID in my locker. And it was just disgraceful. You're a big bully is what you are. You are a bully. He's 3 times the size of this poor guy. And he's crying for his ID, for him to show you his ID. Shame on you.
Shame on you for not respecting America's laws and hiring a bunch of disgusting illegals who should have never been in George Washington's land in the first place. And this is why you don't let legal immigrants in either. This is what kind of uppity bastards that they turn into. No matter what kind of papers they have, they don't belong here. And that's the bottom line that people don't understand.
You are a bully. He's 3 times the size of this poor guy.
Meantime, security cameras captured.
And by the way, he's just objectively wrong. That agent who was arresting him was not 3 times the size of the taco that he was arresting. This guy who's arresting him is not 3 times the size of this one on the ground. So that's just not even true. Exaggeration for the sake of demonizing ICE once again. That's what this guy's doing. After breaking immigration law, when is ICE going to arrest this guy? Because the DOJ needs to charge this guy. I understand that there has to be an investigation, but please do one so you can arrest this guy. If he knowingly hired illegals, he should be charged. Many other people have been charged. Many other business owners at this point have been charged now. That's good. But you should investigate this guy as well.
Meantime, security cameras captured the raid being carried out throughout the property while customers watched in disbelief. It was surreal.
all of a sudden you hear people screaming, not only the workers here, but customers.
J.D. Schwartz.
Yes, customers like you, bleeding hearts who think that any savage from around the world gets to invade our country and we should have nothing to say about it. Their screams are music to my ears. Make them scream more. Okay, I want them to scream in terror. And for you bleeding heart, open borders idiots as well. This is what the law being enforced looks like. You are so happy to let these people invade my country built by my ancestors. Now the federal law enforcement is doing the job that the citizens of this country and the people who's descended from the builders of this country want, which is we want these animals dragged out of here. And that's exactly what ICE is doing. So this is all music to my ears, and I support ICE 100%. You can cry and scream and call us Nazis all day. It's not going to help anything.
20 SUVs pulled up, and then agents hopped out and chased after workers. One of the workers was detained with a customer's keys on them. The manager says an agent returned them a few minutes later.
Did you hear that? ICE found that there was a customer's key, and they respectfully returned the car keys back to the wash. This is how respectful federal law enforcement is.
They came back and dropped back a BMW key.
Schwartz says he's been coming to this car wash for 20 years now and describes employees as hardworking people that he has grown to care about.
I'm a Jew. This is like Nazi Germany. They just
really?
and taking people off the street.
This man.
Yeah, that's interesting because there's a whole bunch of Hispanics who were left behind here, a whole bunch of immigrants who were left behind. Why didn't they take them? They only took like 4 people from this specific wash. Okay, that seems like nothing, but that adds up when you're doing it all over California, which they are. Okay, they only took the illegals. There are many other people working there who are not illegal. They had some kind of status, legal status, okay, which I don't support, but they had it, so they didn't arrest them. How is it like Nazi Germany? These like you're making these words not mean anything when you just call everything Nazi. They were following the law and only taking people who broke the law and broke into our country. And what the hell does hard work have to do with anything? Okay, can I break into your house and stay there forever? If I just work hard? No, you don't want me in your house. I'm presuming are you going to let random homeless people come into your house and stay if they promise to work hard? No, it has to do with their very existence in your house being against your will. That's why you don't let random people into your house. And that's what the country and immigration law is all about. This is my house built by my ancestors. I don't want randos coming in here. But some people like this guy here, who's also an immigrant, of course, Mr. Jewy Jewstein over here, he thinks that everybody around the world should get to come because his ancestors had problems and we let them in wrongfully in the 1940s, whenever his ancestors came here, which was like very recently. And he is not a foundational American, and he should not be telling me about immigration because his ancestors didn't even build this country. So I don't know why you think you have the right to have an opinion on this, bro, but you don't. You need to go back to Israel if you feel so persecuted here. If it's so much like Nazi Germany, get your ass out of here. Nobody wants you here, Shorts. All right?
And describes employees as hardworking people that he has grown to care about.
I'm a Jew. This is like Nazi Germany. They're just coming and taking people off the street.
This man works in the area and witnessed the operation.
I'm all for the borders and everything, but the way it's done, hardworking people, I don't want criminals here. Nowhere, I got to protect my family too, but the way it was done, these hardworking people, I think there's got to be a different way of doing it.
The Department of Homeland.
No, there's no different way of doing it. We can't take them on the street. We can't take them near a school. We can't take them at their house. We can't take them at a mall. We can't take them at any business. We can't take them on the street. There's nowhere that you want ICE to take them. No matter where it is, it's going to be ugly. Okay, these people don't want to leave. They want to invade our country and stay here forever. And we have to remove them. It's not going to be pretty, Jack. And you yourself, you don't belong here either, bro. I don't know why you think you have a right to opine on this situation. Okay. But nevertheless, that's a different story for another day. None of these people should be here. That's my perspective. But nevertheless, he has some kind of legal status. That's why they didn't take him. Okay. And here's a statement from Homeland Security.
Saying U.S. Border Patrol conducted a targeted immigration enforcement operation.
The key word there is targeted. They didn't take everybody, like the Nazis, as Mr. Schwartz said. They took specific people who were illegally here because ICE is following the law, unlike the people who broke into our country, who don't give a damn about borders or our federal laws.
at Studio City Hand Car Wash in Studio City, Los Angeles, that resulted in the arrest of 4 illegal aliens from Guatemala and Mexico. Lino Miguel Trinidad, a criminal illegal alien from Mexico, was previously arrested for possession of marijuana for sale. Now, the manager here at the car wash tells us that the workers that weren't detained were too afraid to work here for the rest of the day and left, and so he had to close his business down. He's hoping that they'll return in the morning so he can reopen. For now,
I'm hoping that they will run back to Mexico and then he can hire some Americans. So the problem here for him, I don't know if he's truly like shattered over the fact that a bunch of illegals who probably couldn't even talk to him because they don't speak English or were taken away, or he's crying for his profits. I don't know. Maybe he did form natural attachments with these people and he's sad about that. That's a sad day for him. Okay. The problem is you hired a bunch of illegals who should have never been here in the first place. And if you want to blame somebody for that, you should blame Joe Biden and Obama, and some of them came in the first Trump administration as well, although very little, but some people sneaked through. During every administration, no president can perfectly close the border, unfortunately, because of the way that the structures are built in the southern border and the very loose immigration laws that we've had for a very long time. But they're even mad about those loose laws being enforced. Okay, even though the laws are pretty pathetic, at least we have some. Okay. But they're not happy about them being enforced. So don't cry to ICE and don't attack ICE. They're doing their job. Who you want to be mad at are the people who broke the laws, the illegals themselves, and the presidents and the politicians in Congress who crafted laws that allowed for these people to sneak through in the first place. Those are the three groups that you should be angry at: Congress, the weak on borders presidents, and the illegals themselves. ICE is the last group that you should be mad about. Okay, who are doing their job as the law requires. Finally, we got one president in the White House who's actually allowing this, and it's the best thing that he's done. And as for what she just said about them being afraid, that's exactly the point. We want them to be afraid. Part of the reason that they enforce it like this, the way they do it, is to send a message that you don't belong here and we don't want you to be here and you should self-deport. That's why they're doing it in a little bit more aggressive of a way than they did in the past. Okay, because we want to send a message that it's not okay to break our federal laws and we're going to hunt you down when you do break our federal laws. Okay, because immigration laws mean something, borders mean something. We want to preserve our country, and you don't get to sneak in here like you own the place. That's the message we're trying to send. Okay, so it's great that they're terrified, and hopefully they run back to wherever they came from. That's what we want. So the bottom line is Borat here is going to have to find some real Americans to work at his car wash. Otherwise, he can shut down and find a different line of work. But he will not be hiring any more illegals. If he does, then he's going to have another raid on his hand, just like this one. So hopefully he learned something from this. And he's going to be crying for a long time if he does hire more illegals. Okay, and ICE will be back if he does that. But for now, that's all I got to say for this video. This is awesome. Can't get enough of this stuff. And I'll see you guys all in my next video, as always.